Have you ever found yourself playing Jett, walking up to the choke with your team, dashing in, and instantly dying? You're not alone. Most Jett players think they're entering, but they're actually just feeding. In this video, I'm going to show you how to path like an Immortal Jett on every single map, so you can create space, survive longer, and actually win rounds. Let's go. Alright, we're going to start out with Bind today, and Bind is quite a simple map, but also can be a little bit complicated. But the main thing you want to note with Jett here, and this goes for defense and it goes for attack, is these high grounds are very good, and not a lot of characters can abuse them, but you are probably the best one at abusing them. So how I would attack here is I'll usually either start on this side or this side, and I will jump spot here, and I will check and make sure there's no enemy upper or enemy Jett or enemy chamber sitting on top of truck here. If you don't have a player playing on this side watching this cross, you need to clear this corner, okay? This corner can be very dangerous and it can be round ending instantly. But anyway, once you get there, you get to this position here, and from here, this is where you have all your options. What you can do is you can do a simple dash out like this, and what you want to do is clear one of these sides, okay? You usually want to clear this right side, because players will play here more often. But you can also clear, if you know that's clear for whatever reason, you can clear like this, and you can make sure there's no one here, and now you can scale into here with either a flash, or you can just peek it dry with the teammate, and that is that kind of entry path there. You can also do pretty much the same thing, but you can actually go on top of this. This is pretty cool. So the way you do this is you have to make sure that you crouch while you're midair, so you jump, crouch, and dash, and then you let go of crouch at the end, and you'll just make it up here. So what you can do from up here is you can do the same kind of thing where you clear these areas, and then you can jump over here, and you can go for even more. This is sick. You can also, let's say you dash out here, and your teammate gets a kill on a guy over here. You can just jump behind the guy in lamps, and you can try and just shoot him in the back, and this works way more often than you think it should. So keep that in mind. It's actually really strong. You can also go straight to top truck here. As you can see, you don't need to dash up there, so this will just give you options, and you can see you can just jump around all the high grounds here. You can even go all the way over to heaven. So you can enter this site like it's the floor is lava, and you don't ever have to touch the ground, which is pretty sick. You can also get on top of this box too, but I think this one's kind of useless. I haven't really found like a reason to do it, but keep it in mind just in case, because you never know. Changing up your entry paths can be really good. And the last kind of area you can entry is literally just to the right of the box instead, and you can run into your smokes really quickly, and you can try and do a similar thing where you try and peek out smoke backside. You see a lot of players do this, Aspas, all the goats do it. So yeah, keep those kind of entry paths in mind. That is pretty much all of it from short. The main area you want to take control of on short is lamps. If you have lamps control, it's quite hard to lose the round, to be honest. If you lose lamps control, then it's pretty difficult to actually win the post plant. So the main things that you can do is you just take lamps, and you can prod and poke for kills here. If you don't get it on you can just fall back. It doesn't matter. I would just make sure when you cross here that you like jump, just so you don't get killed from this guy. So here is a clip of Aspas playing on short here. You can see he has the Teo drone go out there, so he doesn't even have to commit his smoke. He just dashes straight in towards lamps, clears it, gets the judge kill. You can see he's repositioned instantly towards these smokes. He's going to try and see if he can grab a pick. Deadlock wall is in the way. Deadlock wall actually trapped two of the enemies here. Alright, so this is another round here towards A, and you can see this is him dashing more towards the smokes and trying to play in the smokes. As you can see, he does even have a phantom for this, and Aspas is known for his vandal. You can see he follows the Teo drone in. That's why he's not dashing into a smoke or anything, because he knows where the enemies are with the Teo drone. Picks up the raise kill, gets another, right? And because he got another, he has dash back, so he can go even further. Dashes into the smoke back side. Did you catch that? He actually clears the angle here. Watch this. See that? He clears the angle underneath heaven real quick. Spots nobody there, so he knows they have to be towards CT here. And he picks up another one. It goes so fast. But those little minute details is what makes him such a good player. The main thing I can tell you with showers is how to scale here properly. So you've got two options. You can either wide swing the guy showers, which can be quite dangerous if he has an op, as you might imagine. Or you can scale like this, and you can keep hugging this wall. You can scale quite slowly and easily. And then you can clear this corner, and now you pretty much have showers. Now you can walk up here. If you have a sky and you want to blind this, maybe you think there's a guy playing here, just call for the sky flash. If not, you can just clear it slowly. And now you're pretty much here. After you get here, the main kind of area you can dash to is pretty much here. There's no real other place. If you get a kill and it's a bit safer, you can updraft on top of this and then go for fights like these. This can be great, especially once you actually get to post plant, but if you don't make it to post plant, I wouldn't start the round with this one in like a full 5v5. But it is good, so keep that in mind. And as well, you can also do shit like this, where you can just go straight heaven. Again, this is the kind of play you would make if you got an early pick. So if you killed the guy in showers and you want to just go even faster, you want to push their spawn, I would do something like this and then get a kill and back off. That's good, but don't do it in straight 5v5. It's too hard to get out there. And that's pretty much going to be A. Just remember, whenever you're entering, if you need space to get out and you don't have dash, smoke the ground like this, and you can kind of scale your way out and try and take a fight. That's the main thing you can kind of do here, so we'll move on. Alright, so now we're on to B. B is probably the better site to attack here most of the time, especially if you have a raise to break any cipher chips or anything. And the main thing you want to do here is, if you have an initiator, you need them over on long. You absolutely need them, because this area is a death trap. You have to hold W the whole way up, and you just die to any flashes. It's really annoying. If you have an initiator here to help you out, it's going to be much easier to actually play the game. If not, you just kind of have to, what I would do is jump spot here, and you can just kind of scale them a little bit like that. If they flash you, you just have to smoke the ground. Just, you know, anything like this, just spam util and just pray, because you will die other than that. But once you actually get up long, you're kind of chilling now. Now you actually have a lot of options. You can TP whenever you need to, or you can full commit to the site. That is pretty good, because it means the enemy, if they over-rotate, you're just like, nah, I'll TP. And if they don't, alright, let's just hit the bomb site. So the way I like to entry here is, I like to come up here. If this gets smoked, I like to try and, if we have flashes, I'll get a pop flash. If not, and we want to go, you have a couple of areas you can dash to, right? You have this one, which is pretty good. You have this one, which I actually really like. This is one of my favorite ones. You just updraft on top of this. If you think they're playing close, I wouldn't go for the updraft. Just if maybe you got long really fast and you don't think there's anyone playing close by. It's really good, but even if they are playing close and you go for this play, like, you can just pop your dash beforehand anyway, and no one can really kill you because you can just pick whatever direction to dash. So definitely like this one. As you can see quite a lot from up here. You can kill any rotators coming out of the CT smoke here. You can kind of clear this corner, and again, you can jump over like this, fully clear this corner, fully clear this corner. It's like the floor is lava. That's kind of how I play Bind, to be honest. You don't really have to touch the ground very often if you're playing Jett, so that's pretty good. The other one you can do is like this as well. And what I like to do is smoke again to clear one of these corners. Like this. And you just pre-fire it. And then you can try and clear backside. It can feel a little bit awkward sometimes, but it's still pretty good. And then the last place you can kind of go is over towards here. Again, as you can see, I'm even doing it instinctively here. When you dash out and you don't see where the enemies are, just smoke the ground again, try and buy a bit more time for yourself, and wait for them to make a move. If they shoot or they step, now you know where they are, now you can kill them. And so this is Aspas taking B long here. You can see he has Teo util here to stun the long. Scales up with the stim beacon. This is an older clip, so the ISO does not actually suppress the Jett here. Jett gets out. You see, he smokes the ground there, just in case the Jett is holding for a second kill. And he has his dash pop now. Updraft dashes out, actually whiffs the box, but he's still in a good position here. You can see he picks up, gets himself inside the tube here. Alright. Lucky they line up, but he had the Jett kill anyway. Turns around and kills the Clove too. But you see what I mean? It's that he's trying to play around this high ground a little bit, but even though he messed up the jump, he still puts himself in a great position to try and get some picks. And that's essentially long, right? What the best places to go really is up here, and you can pre-fire this guy in elbow. A lot of people like to spam elbow. So if you have a phantom or something, you can spam him back. You can usually see above, and he smokes as well a little bit, so they can't do much. Fight you. And if you do kill them, you can push up into elbow and play post plant from elbow, which is really strong. You can just kind of hold here and wait for the enemy to make some kind of move. Maybe they pop flash out to smoke and then you swing. And that would be pretty much all I would do from long here. There's not any more options. From hookah, I don't like hookah as much, man. I think long is much better because you have the TP. But you obviously can't just go long 50 million rounds in a row. So if you need to go hookah, what I like to do is I'll start the round, hold on like this for a second. Or I'll get my teammate to hold like this for a second. And you can just jump shift B hop all the way up here and you don't make any noise. And now you can try and just clear... These two angles are the scary ones, right?
Here.
This and this.
Here.
So once you clear that, you're up here. And now you get here. If you don't have initiate util, you have to joy swing like this. But you don't want to expose your back because he could have a judge up here. So I like to just do a quick little jiggle. Try and get some info. Pre-fire this box, I usually do this. And now the pretty much only play you can do is jump on top of the tube, which isn't a bad play. Don't get me wrong. Just because it's the only play doesn't make it a bad play. But that's pretty much all you can do, and you just have to try and find the guy. And he could be in this corner, he could be backside somewhere, or he could be in this corner, or he could even be rotating. So that's pretty much hookah, and that's pretty much how I would attack Bind. Let's move on. Now we have Abyss. Abyss is... People don't actually like this map, man. I don't mind it personally. I think it's pretty funny to watch people fall off the map and in-game themselves, but that's just me. So Abyss, we're going to talk about A here first. A, the usual thing that I will do here is I will run up like this and I will pre-fire this corner, making sure nobody can cross here. If you play against the chamber or anything, they like to even cross even further here. So just be aware of that. When you scale, just clear this corner here. And then you get to this position here. You have a couple of options here to dash out to, right? So the main one here is going to be just dashing out into your smoke kind of like this. Which is going to be pretty chill. Right, you can clear a corner like that. You can dash out. You can scale on top of this. Maybe you have a Soba Dart coming in backside, and then you shoot the guy through the smoke. This kind of stuff. If you can't seem to make it out of the choke, right, it's just not working, you can updraft on top of this at the start of the round, and you can peek over the smoke here. So there'll be like maybe an Omen smoke here, and you can peek over the smoke and look for a pick. That can work, especially if you're playing against like a Cypher and you don't have Sova to break trips. That can be really nice if you're stuck kind of playing a slower round. Other than that, we have the over the side play here with the knives. Right. This is great. If you have a second entry duelist, this is so strong, by the way. Like maybe you have a, I don't know, Neon, Waylay, Raze, that kind of stuff. And you go from the side as they go from the front, bro. Boom. It's clean. No, it's actually good. Trust me. You can do this as well. I do this on Raze. I love doing this with a Raze rocket. It's so fun. But yeah, that's gonna be one of my other favorite entry paths. The other one is just kind of like sending it on one of the far sides here. So you do that and you just kind of run it down. Just something like this. And the next one will be the same kind of thing, but on bridge. Right? Just make sure this is smoked or you're dead. The biggest thing that's annoying about this bomb site is a lot of good Sova players will dart up here as you entry. So you have to either smoke the ground again or you need to fake your entry. And what do I mean by fake your entry? I would like, if you run up and throw smoke like this, sometimes their Sova will actually dart just off that. Just be aware and let your team know that you're not actually like, I want to wait for the Sova dart if you're dying to this over and over again. Because in high elo, it will happen where they will do this. So that is going to be my biggest annoyance with this map is this one Sova dart. It actually grinds my gears. And yeah, that's going to be pretty much this bomb site. The only other thing is after you get out, if someone gets a pick on the tower guy, just go up the rope and take this. Yeah, or other than that, like if you're down and maybe you lost a guy or two and you want to go for an aggressive play, you can either go up this rope here or you can peek into their spawn. And this is kind of how I'm going to play post plant a lot of the time. Is I'm going to swing out here, look for a guy here rotating, and then boom. Alright, so here's another round here. You can see how Aspas actually plays around the Sova dart here, which I think is really important because of how often it comes out. So they spot Cypher here, right? So Cypher equals trips. So you can see we updraft and we dash straight on top of the box. And we have to smoke the ground again because of how strong the Sova dart is. And we could swing out on this guy backside. The enemy have Waylay ult here for retake. You can see our Yori taps the bomb, flashes out spawn, gets rolled. And we actually end up not having enough time to win this round here, but I did see something really funny happen at the end. We tap, we run out of bullets, we jump off, and yeah. I did find that one pretty funny, but yeah, you can see the premise anyway. Sova dart is really strong, so make sure you smoke yourself again. And so we're attacking A here on Abyss.
Okay.
And one thing to note here is the enemy actually have quite a lot of ults here, and we don't end up respecting it. So watch what goes down here. Alright, so we get darted, flashed, and Waylay ulted all at the same time, and we can't actually escape it. But the big thing here, like, I always say this, if you're ever in danger on Jett, just smoke the ground, right? This smoke here defends his teammates and everything. He still gets tagged by the Sova ult here, but you see we just swing out here with our knives once the debuff's gone. And we start clicking some heads. That's an important call there by our Sova. He says, let me slow down and drone. We know that Sova is also here because he darted. So we slow down here, and we actually get the right click off on the Sova here. Like, this is just, I wanted to show you this one because it shows that everything doesn't always go according to plan, right? Especially when you're attacking. You don't know exactly what's going to happen. You can only predict, and a lot of my videos are giving you good guidelines and ideas, but sometimes shit hits the fan, you know what I mean? Really good entry path, by the way, I forgot to even mention here, is you can glide straight around there. It's obviously a rare case, but you see he gets backside control quite quickly. So B, man. B can be like a really annoying bomb site, because there's a lot of annoying to clear off angles on this bomb site. One way to play B is just straight up have a sniper, and you just kind of sit here. This is great, again, if you have a second entry duelist, you can just sit back in the window and just pop people. But if you're kind of forced to entry and you kind of have to go, it's annoying, man. It's really annoying. You need a lot of util here, or you need a lot of spin butty kind of aim. You know what I mean? I feel like every time I entry on this bomb site, it's just like, I'm going for it, and I just kind of send it. You know what I mean? So the main dangerous areas here are going to be a guy here on this, watching the jump across. This guy is the most annoying player here. I feel like this guy always gets a kill, at least. The other dangerous area is the obvious one, which is going to be back here. Right, either side, they could swing. The other one is going to be actually a guy sitting here. This is a play I'm leaking before the defense guide here. This is so annoying because you can't be cleared here, and then you peek out, and then you die. That is tilting. And then you have a guy playing here as well, which is another dangerous one, and he can just kind of escape like that. As you can see, this bomb site can be a bit of a mess to attack. So how do I like to do it anyway? How do I overcome these annoyances? The main way I found to entry here is either like this, and then you kind of fight this guy. As you can see, it's a little bit of a like, I'm just gonna fight you play. But I feel like you have to do that on this map. You need to take one of these angles just off the map, and this is the easiest one to try and fight. So again, that's just kind of dashing over here. The other way that you can do this is by like updraft dashing and smoking in here. Like this is, and as you can see, it's pretty open play, but I feel like it works quite a lot. Just dashing out like this and then just sending it. The other kind of play I like to do is if I have an Omen can flash for me. I like the Omen to flash this kind of area, and I'll just dash in behind them and just kill them. The other way I can do it is something like this, dash on top of that side, or you can come up straight like this, dash out, smoke the ground again, and try and fight this guy. And the main area, as you can see, that you want to take is going to be this area here.
Careful.
And once you get that area, you can either stay back here, and you can look for a pick on a guy trying to come out here. As you can see, he could come out any of these areas, or he could already be out, because this will be smoked. But when the smoke goes down, you can look for a pick, a cheeky one, or you can play on top, like up here. And you can see you can look for a pick on either the heaven guy or the CT guy. And if this gets re-smoked, you can cross again, and you can play this kind of angle. As you can see, it could be quite catastrophic if it goes bad, if they peek you at the same time, but it's a nice little off angle to try and get, if there's only like 1 or 2 players alive, it's pretty good. Alright, so this is an attack round on B here. And what I like about this is, this shows a lot of knowledge of the enemy comps and what they're able to do, right? They have Yoru and they have Waylay. So what Aspas does here is he actually holds this. This is the jump across from the other side, and those 2 agents can just jump across and take a fight, and you can't stop them. So he holds this and he waits for his teammates to get in position here.
I'm smoking up, okay, man?
And then the drone comes out. He's respecting the enemy, and now he swings out here. And this is one of the entry paths I was trying to show you, which is updraft dash on top of site. You see, he smokes the ground again to buy a little bit more time. Drops down, catches the Cypher here, and swings this Astra backside. At this point now, the round is nearly secure. We have Silva ult for post plant. So he's watching out for this jump up here. This jump up, a lot of people like to retake from here. He may picks up the kill, and now we can leave Omen on site. Even though the enemy actually flanked here, we could leave Omen on site and we could play Silva ult. And yeah, I thought that was pretty good. And yeah, that's pretty much B. The last place we can talk about really is mid, but mid doesn't have too much variety. The only thing to note here is you can break the door from this spot here, which this is more important for like ciphers, but you never know, like maybe you just have a game where you want to play mid a bit more often, you want to keep breaking the door. The main times I play here is if nothing seems to work and I just want to try and take a nice fight here. Whether I have an op or a rifle, you can peek from a couple of different angles here. Or you could just scale up like this and then pop your dash here. And you can try and clear some of these and try and get a kill. Let's say you do that, you smoke him off, and then you try and come over here. You know what I mean? Like, mid is a lot of just these fights. That if I want to just fight someone, I don't like this split through vent. I feel like it never works. So unless you're doing this like super late round or something, I don't recommend trying to do a split here unless you have like an Omen flash perfectly coming in from main, but I don't even know if it can cover all of this. Maybe it can. Yeah, if you're dueled with an Omen, maybe you can go for that, but I've never found value in it. Like, it seems too constructed of a play to make it work in rank. That's just my opinion. Maybe I'm wrong. Prove me wrong. If you have any clips or anything, let me know about it. But yeah, I don't know. I haven't found any consistency in it. That's gonna be Abyss. Alright, we have our last map today, and we have Corrode here. Corrode wasn't out the last time I made the entry frag guide, so now it's here, now we have it for a while. My instant recommendation, to be honest, is if you like Jett, try Waylay on this map. She's actually really good and really fun, and it's a good change up. But if you are stuck and you want to play Jett, that's fine too. We're going to talk about how to play Jett here. So, if you're hitting B here, B is one of my favorite sites to go fast. I think it's quite easy compared to A, which is a little bit awkward. What I do is I'll instantly jump spot here, make sure that no one is swinging out wide. Maybe it is a Waylay, Chamber, Jett, any of those kind of agents. Might be going for a cheeky pick here, so we just kind of stop that from happening by going for a jump spot. And now we get to this spot here. There is a couple of different entry paths here. We have this one, which is simple. You just dash in the corner. We have this one, which you don't want to bonk your head. More like this. Right? And you can do this, and as your team are entering out, they'll give you some info. And you can try and decide whether you want to fight one of these areas here, right? So whichever area you want to fight, you want to sit on that side of the little hut here. Right? So if I want to try and check CT real quick, or if I want to check this kind of area, I'll sit on this side of the hut, just so it gives me a bit of protection from a guy playing around here. Big danger here is this corner here. So what I like to do is check that like that. That will make your life a little bit easier. Just be wary. And this will most likely, the meta smokes seem to be like this, and this is left open. So just be aware of that a lot of players now, I've seen a lot of Sentinel players actually playing over towards here. So they will see you. Just be aware of taking that fight. So if you keep dying from the top hut, then go for this dash. You can also go for something like this, where you can just kind of dash straight into the site. Again, a full execute with that will might look something like this. And then you can decide what you want to do. When you're in this position here, you're completely covered. You see it's a lot safer of an entry. And yeah, that's a lot of B here. Main things to note here is if you still have your updraft in post plant or anything, you can get up here. You can also get up here with just a dash. So if you jump crouch, you can dash up here. Again, that is a jump, crouch, and just you can hold glide the whole time, doesn't matter. And you will dash up here, which will be useful in case maybe you get 2 kills and you want to dash towards heaven, you don't have updraft, boom, you can get to heaven. Alright, so here we are on Corrode. You can see a molly has dropped, so they just kind of have to stand around here, but we are setting up for a B hit. You can see Aspas goes for the smoke here. He actually checks the close corner.
Backside.
You can see once you're in this position, you kind of like, it's kind of rough, right? We have Clove ult here, which is pretty good because Clove was giving us some info. You can see we're just kind of holding this cross. Sage Wall comes up, but you can see straight away he's really scared of this area here. Like I was saying, a lot of players like to play here. He swings out, gets this kill backside. Ends up dying, but we actually hit Viper 124, which is quite annoying.
124.
You can see the premise of the entry, right? Even though there's a lot of enemies here, this kind of entry path we ended up taking. And it worked out pretty well. That's pretty much B. Again, the B is simple, which is good because it means a lot less can go wrong. If they start stacking B, it's kind of too hard to hit here. So just be aware of that. I really love playing with like deadlocks on this map because they can wall this area and net this area. And they can net here for you. It's so easy. It's so easy when that happens. When you have good util here, like Omen Flash here as well is one of my favorites to use. So Omen can flash like this whole area here. It's so good, man. It wipes out half the bomb site. The main dangerous areas are this one, and over here. They're your real dangerous areas, but if you wait too long, this becomes a threat as well. Someone flooding out the smoke becomes a threat. Again, B, great. I like B. Let's move on. And now we have A, which I like a lot less, to be honest. A is very annoying. It's very, very long trying to scale over here. We have to know how to hit it because it is literally half the map. So the way I start is I'll start again with the jump spot here, or I'll have a fade dog coming out like this. Fade dog is so good on this map. It will really help you clearing this early area. Then you'll get to kind of this spot. And the meta smokes here seem to be Omen smoke here and Omen smoke like here. That seems to be kind of the best way to play this map so far, which means you don't really have to worry about this area too much. Now, I will say, playing this area as a switch up is going to be really good. Let's say you hit A couple of rounds in a row, instead of you going straight elbow, you will go there. But anyway, we'll talk about elbow first. So what I like to do here is, if I have an Omen again, I'll get Omen to flash this area. If it's flashed, I can just kind of go like this. The only area to be scared of is here. Behind here is another one. A lot of Yorus I find play here, and then they just flash you and then peek you. So again, alright. We'll get, if we have an Omen flash, we're pretty chill. If not, we need like a Fade Eye or something over here. And if you have anything to clear this area, you can just kind of dash over here and you're chilling. If you don't, you have to clear it the old-fashioned way, which is smoke, dash, and try and clear, which as you can see can be quite awkward. Then once you get to this area, you just need to clear angles like this. This is where CT is. So I find myself going up here. I find myself spamming this box quite often. And then we need to get out onto the site, alright? One of the best areas to plant here is actually over in this corner. You can plant that right on the edge. It's really, really annoying to play against for the enemy because then you can fall back towards Link and you're just kind of chilling, to be honest. Right, so this is Aspas trying to take, I think it's A, I can't remember the bomb sites in the map, but trying to take A here, and you can see he goes for this kind of entry I was talking about, with dashing on top. He doesn't even end up clearing the corners here, so he must have had a decent read. You see, he scales up here and he spots this molly, right? This molly is annoying because you kind of have to respect it. He's only got 25 armor. So what he does is he smokes the floor like this, and Aspas does this a lot, right? When you're in these choke points that have two sides, Aspas will smoke the floor, and sometimes he'll cross and sometimes he won't cross. But the reason this is so good is it makes it so the enemies cannot just hold this side here. They need to respect both sides. In case their KO is peeking or anything. So we end up having to scale onto site with no util here because of the KO ult, but we do get the pick here. And even though we die, right, we've done our job now. We got a kill and we got traded from this KO kill. So our job is done now. That's going to be the main way to attack A. The next way to attack A is kind of like the switch up I was talking about. If you get a fade out like past the smoke here or something, it's going to be pretty strong. Other than that, you can just kind of walk through with a smoke like this, and you can try and take over this area. It's risky, but it's good to change it up every so often because you don't want to just do the exact same entry path over and over again. You can also do this, by the way, if you didn't know. I have never actually, I think one time I found a use for this, but it's quite useless to be honest. You don't get enough time looking through the window. But yes, the next best way to attack is going to actually be through mid, which we'll talk about. So mid is actually really strong in this map because the rotation times from A to B are like 10 seconds through mid, or they're like 25-30 seconds through spawn. So mid is quite important to take as an attacker. And now, what's the best way to take mid? Well, if you have that funny little blue guy named Omen, he can flash this area for you, and you can just go crazy, and you can dash in, and boom. So, how would I do this, right? I'd get Omen to flash, I'd smoke dash, and I'd walk in, clear these, like this. If they did get Omen flashed, they might sit in this corner like this. So I will swing out, pre-fire this, and boom. Now we have a link for the most part, right? If we have a split coming, so maybe we have a couple of players coming from main, these guys are just so fucked, man. I feel like you need to split this bomb site in order to actually get it consistently. So the main dangerous area here for you to clear is going to be this corner or this corner. As you can see, this corner is quite covered from main, so this is most likely where they'll hide. So you can clear that. Again, no matter what, if there's a close corner like this, you're playing Jett, you can flick your smoke around like this and they'll be one-wayed. So, if you ever need to clear an aggressive corner like this as Jett, just flick your smoke, pre-fire him, boom. Quite easy. And then we're kind of on site for the most part, just have to be wary of that. And this kind of area here, with this guy. Is that a chicken? Chicken with cheese on his head. That's what we'll call that. You gotta clear chicken with cheese on his head. Boom, boom, and now we have the bomb site. We're just pretty much done. Alright, so this is Aspas trying to take mid here, and I don't even think Aspas gets any kills in this round, but you can just see the premise of taking mid here, right? So this smoke here, I forgot to mention, is really good for trying to take early mid control. You can see there's a lot of spam going on here, and this Viper wall as well is quite annoying to play against. I doubt you'll see this much in your ranked games, but you might. You can see we have Fade Dog util coming in here. Arena's trying to take it.
A lot of people mid.
And we do call a lot of people mid here. Arena actually gets bookie. Jett dashes out. And this smoke comes down, which makes it pretty difficult now to split A. So you can see Aspas's attention goes more towards this top mid area, which seems to be a fade there. And the reason that is because it seems like A is pretty heavy right now. B does not seem as heavy. So we're going to head towards it. So just clearing our angles here. Go in contact. Our Clove ends up getting a pick here. We smoke that. And now we can we can dash updraft on top of the hut here. And we actually spotted Viper. And our teammate got a kill from it.
Nice.
And now our round looks pretty good now. Last two enemies should be towards the other bomb site. Let's see, we're just playing post plant here. And we end up getting a pick. I thought that was a pretty good round. Best ways to play post plant on A is going to be either from Link with the bomb planted right here. That's a phantom, not a bomb. But yeah, that area, or you can play like a crossfire on spawn here. And yeah, that's pretty much Corrode. And that's going to be the last map we actually do today, because the other maps, bro, I don't know when Fracture's actually coming back. If Fracture comes back, I'll make another updated guide, but until Fracture comes back or more new maps come back, it don't matter, man. Like, if you are only watching this video now, I have Pearl and Split on the last guide, so there's no point in me redoing them, unless I'll make sure, I'm not sure. Let me know in the comments if I did Pearl and Split on the defense guide. I'm not sure. I feel like I might have, but maybe I'm wrong. But yeah, until new maps start coming back or new maps released, there's no point in me making another one of these for any of the older maps because they're not in ranked, so there's no real point. But yeah, that's going to be the video, so like, sub, all that shit, join the Discord, follow me on Twitch, DM me for coaching as well, and yeah, I'll see you later.